The launch party for Dubai's Atlantis Hotel was reputedly the most expensive ever. But the conglomerate behind this grandiose development, Dubai World, is in trouble. A loan of £2 billion is due. It hasn't got it and wants another 6 months to pay. This lavish spectacle, complete with stars like Kylie, now looks a bit like hubris.
Now you might think that it is near limitless oil wealth which has paid for the rather fantastical landscape behind me to spring up at the water's edge. But Dubai is relatively poor compared to the other Emirates here, and instead the buildings behind me are floating on a sea of debt. It's debt which the state-owned companies here are now finding it very difficult to repay.
The news from Dubai World sent shockwaves through the world's stock markets. Little wonder the total debt owed by this single group of companies is a staggering £35 billion. With property prices here down by 50%, work has ground to a halt on many projects. British companies have been hit hard.
Confidence has already collapsed. British businesses are already in the red as far as Dubai is concerned. British contractors who were largely responsible for building many of the projects here are still owed almost $400 million. So for British business, this could have a profound effect. There are 100,000 British expatriates that live in the UAE. I think the clock is ticking for quite a lot of expatriates in this town.
The authorities in Dubai have not so far stepped in to help the company, contrary to expectations. The crucial question, is the government really prepared to allow some of the biggest names here to go bankrupt? The warm seas of Dubai are still a magnet for pop stars and footballers' wives. There is still glamour and glitter here, but some of the shine has come off the Dubai economic miracle. Paul Wood, BBC News, in Dubai.
And watching that with me, our economics editor, Stephanie Flanders. Stephanie, Paul there mentioned shockwaves from this news. What's been the impact?
Well, there has been quite a big impact on the stock market here, particularly on bank shares here. And I think if you are an institution that's lent money to Dubai, you've got reason to worry tonight in a way that you didn't a few days ago. As Paul suggested, everyone had thought that Abu Dhabi, with all its oil wealth, would always stand behind these debts. But perhaps the market reaction has been a little bit more than we might have expected. It's not a crucial cog in the system in the way that, say, Lehman Brothers was. And I think that might be because there was a holiday in the US for Thanksgiving. People were nervous that they couldn't trade. There's now a long Islamic holiday, so you're not going to get clarification on what's going to happen to this debt. And I think more broadly, people were sort of reminded that you can lose money on this lending, that all bonds don't get underwritten by a Western government or any other government, and governments themselves, like Dubai, are going to eventually have to pay back all this borrowing they've done in the last couple of years. So it's not a big shock to the system like Lehman's, but a reminder that there might be more bumps along the road.
OK, Stephanie, thank you very much. Stephanie Flanders there.